Hello everyone, this is Shinobi TCG and welcome to the first Worlds Beyond gameplay video. We're going to be playing some Dragoncraft, which is my favorite of the classes, despite how good it is in Worlds Beyond at the current moment, as you can see by my Topaz grouping. Yeesh. We're going to play against Abysscraft, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm doing some post-commentary here versus live commentary. Let me know in the comments whether you prefer post or live commentary, because I'm going to try live commentary in the next one of these. But getting into the gameplay, we're debating the Fenny keep at the moment, which we are going to end up keeping because Fenny is necessary for beating Mode, as well as mid-range to an extent. But unfortunately for me, this isn't Mode, which means now we're playing the guessing game of aggro or mid-abyss. Which thankfully is not aggro, otherwise we would have instantly lost this game. However, our hand's still not great for mid-abyss either, as mid-abyss can play decently aggressively, and our hand is looking a little heavy and no ramp, which is very unfortunate. To be fair, we are only playing the Dragon Sign and not the Lu Feng, but yeah, Lu Feng is such a weird card for me. Currently, I am using it in the builds I'm playing, but at the time I wasn't, because she just feels like such a black card, and going first, she feels so bad. So, you know. Here we're going to be praying that this devotee lives, which actually it is going to, because instead of trading with it, they're just going to hit me for 4 to face. Which we have no answer for until we draw another Call of Megalorca. And so, unfortunately, we're not going to get any draws off of this devotee. It's just going to have to trade off with the Velua. And we are not going to play our second devotee, and that is because we actually want to get draws off of it. And putting it down, just leaving it to get obliterated is not a great plan, in my opinion. Thankfully, they don't have a very aggressive turn here, and so we are actually able to utilize this devotee with an evolve point in order to draw a Dragoncraft follower out of our deck and hopefully get our, gameplay rolling. Huge draw with the Rider, but unfortunately, what you're about to see, Aragavi absolutely obliterates this board, and our opponent has him in the hand. So away goes our board and 3 damage to the both of us with Aragavi, because they're not trying to play a long game against us. And unfortunately for us, our hand is pretty garbage at clearing this Aragavi. I mean, we're able to. It's just going to eat a second evolve point, which we really don't want to have to be using so many of our evolve points so soon. We basically, on every turn that we could use an evolve point, did. And usually, unless those evolve points are having things go face, that's not a good sign. And neither is this thing, because our hand has no way to full clear it, and not full clearing it means that they can extra play point Serbi and absolutely obliterate us. So right now I'm kind of debating between Odin and Garyu. Odin would leave nothing on my board, and Garyu would eat a super evolve point and at least leave me with a ward. In this, I do decide to go with the Garyu because I like the ward. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone Odin. I have plenty of face damage in my deck remaining, and not leaving a card on my board would mean that the Serbi play is actually worse, because it would only do 4 damage to my face and nothing else. So they actually probably wouldn't have extra play point Serbied on this turn had I left nothing on my field and just cleared 2 followers. And then maybe we would have had a chance to win this game, because spoiler alert, we don't, because they are going to extra play point Serbi me here, and it does not go well for us. I even debate swinging at face and just ignoring it, and I'm like, no, I can't do that now that I've committed to removing 2 followers to make sure that the Serbi can't buff 2 of them. But in doing that, I still left 1, which means the Serbi is still absolutely worth going. Although it appears they like almost debate not doing it, but in the end they end up doing it. But imagine if they didn't. That would have been great. But here we are, in the world in which they did. And so we're going to just take a bajillion damage here. 11 to be exact. Which is almost lethal. But it isn't lethal. But it sure is almost lethal. And it also might as well be lethal, because unless I draw Neptune here, I'm just going to be at 1 HP, which means I lose. And spoiler alert, I don't draw Neptune. So I decide not going to give up. I just go for Azurifrit here, clears the board, and then I can just pray that they don't have a way to clear him or kill me through him. Abyss doesn't have a lot of ways to kill a 10-10, but they do have plenty of ways to kill him kill me without killing him. So, as you're about to see, even though they may not have like Medusa or something to just Super Evolve and kill him with the Super Evolve ricochet damage, they do just have Rage of Serpents, which kills me. So, unfortunate loss on the game 1. That's okay, we got 3 more games here to show you. And this next one is going to be a mirror. Mirrors are so explosive with Dragoncraft. Since the deck is so RNG and kind of lives off the top of the deck, it really just boils down to who draws better. Combinations of Ramp, Neptune, Storm cards to be able to kill each other as fast as possible. So it basically just boils down to who drew better. And my hand's pretty good. I don't know about their hand, but my hand is looking good, minus the fact that we have none of our bigger cards, but we have plenty of ways to play the early game. And so we're going to extra play point that Dragon Sign to pretend that we are Dragon Oracle. And usually I would save my extra play points for my 5-drops, but they weren't in my hand, and I have no way to draw them at the moment, so I figured that, you know, using the extra play point to ramp early was fine. And it was. I could have double Orca'd here. I decided to not because, you know, if it ever gets to a point where I need to, you know, heal extra with Neptune Crest, I want to keep some of my calls. But you could argue double Megalorca was better because it keeps a guy on board. Especially since on this turn, I'm just going to have to pass because I've got no plays. And Megalorca in here doesn't really do anything for me, in my opinion. Although, then again, they go and do it right here. Thankfully for me, we draw Merman, which is way more pressure than just the Megalorca trade, which is what I would have had to do had I not drawn Merman. Here they go for an extremely aggressive play. We don't know what's in their hand, but you gotta think that there was a better play to be made here. Because this is so punished by Odin, it's not even funny how punished by Odin this gets. And here we're going to evolve the Merman, gives us another body on board, deals damage. You know, we don't need to super evolve here. We have plenty of cards that want to super evolve, so regular evolve point's fine. Still plenty of damage here. And they're in a tough spot because, like before with me against the Dragoncraft deck, at 8 play points, without those board wipe spells, Dragon doesn't really have really solid ways of clearing boards. And as you can see here, they don't full clear my board. In fact, unlike me, they don't even swing the Gold Dragon into a follower, they just hit face and perish to a second Odin. Unfortunate for them, but you know, it is what it is. Dragoncraft mirrors, baby. Third game now, and this is gonna be the longest of the 4, is Cresthaven. Of course, probably one of the most played decks here on the ladder in Masters. Currently, though, I'm in Grandmaster, so...
From the flames,
Hey.
a new trial awaits.
This game takes a bit.
Those most
Our hand looks pretty good, though, all things considered, dealing with this deck.
the good word.
But the one thing we're missing is Fenny. Fenny is kind of our ticket through this matchup.
Let us pray.
And because it lets us actually grind with them, since it makes all of our high-cost cards not high-cost cards. Again, we're not going to use the extra play point on this Dragon Sign. We have a 5-drop in our hand that we would like to extra play point into on turn 4. So we're going to... Well, technically we have Dragon Sign here for turn 3. So this is like letting us go, you know, Galmu plus extra play point, the Flame if we need to, or we can just save it for turn, for the next turn after this one, so we can extra play point 7 enhanced play Galmu and go face. Here though, I decide since I can't extra play point go face with Galmu, and we didn't draw, I think I only run 1 Forte in this build that I was playing at this time, so we don't have Forte. I decided to just Merman to go wide. You want to go wide against this deck pretty frequently, because it means they have to actually work hard to clear your field, and maybe they'll even have to attack. Especially here with the Marwyn coming down, it's going to be pretty hard for them to clear the entire board. Although they do have this amulet here, but they're going to waste 4 healing if they use the amulet to clear my board, which they do end up doing. But it doesn't even full clear, which is good for us. Though, unfortunately for me, I could extra play point Galmu, but the problem is with that is that I don't really have any follow-up for extra play point Galmu here. And so instead, we're just going to normal play Galmu and use her effect and the Ferocious Flame to clear Marwyn cleanly, and then just hit them for 2, because our Volf points need to be used much more intelligently than just for 4 damage against a deck that can just play a card and heal 10. So 4 damage is not worth a regular Volf point here, so we don't use it. Unfortunately, Galmu gets to bite the dust here, and Congruent evolves, giving them yet another crest, and the crests are just going to clear my board. Thankfully though, we can extra play point Fenny here and clear the Congruent, which is really nice because now we actually get to play the game against their deck. Unfortunately, we drew that Azuri Freet now and not after the Fenny, but it is what it is. We've got our 2 Galmu Crest spells here and Azuri Freet to combo with them, which is pretty nice. Fenny's gonna go down though to the Marwyn spell, and now they've got that amulet that's going to give them barrier. I decide here to Devotee, evolve Devotee to draw through my deck more, because I really need to find my stuff and to draw into cards from the Fenny reduction. And with that draw off of the Seasoned Merman, we get to go pretty wide here, which is really good because we're trying to force out that the Goblet. I keep forgetting what that amulet is, the 6-drop amulet that would board wipe me. We want that forced out on wide boards like this, so that way it can't be used to easily clear our big boys, especially when we can go wide with them with Fenny, thanks to her reducing their cost. And also they don't have Grimnir, so Grimnir can't just clear our board as well. Unfortunately for me though, they have Selefa here to do that anyway, so with a Super Evolve point, Selefa is going to obliterate my entire field, and the crest damage gets to go face, which really sucks. Thankfully for me though, I'm going to clear their board with the White Frost Whisper combined with that spell. And then we're just going to go wide again with Filane and Galmu and another Call of the Megalorca, I believe, to, again, force out that amulet if possible, make them have to work through our field, because that is the only way we're going to get pressure on this deck, is if we make them have to clear our board every single turn. And that 4-drop spell doesn't cleanly clear this board, because it'll take all but one of their play points and then not clear Galmu. And then I think it only does 3 to the board. So Galmu would soak up 2 of the 4 crest damage at the end of turn. Plus it would burn a bunch of cards out of their deck because they're at 8 cards in hand. So it would only burn 1. It would draw them 2 and then burn 1. But that's still a nothing burger of a turn that we want them to do compared to, you know, actually putting down more crests and stuff like that and feeling safe. We need the pressure. They're doing the big think, so let's give them their time. Here it is. The play is Himika, apparently. Not sure if this is their strongest play, since they don't super evolve her or anything. And she only locks up the Megalorca, and the crest doesn't kill Galmu here, so with the Neptune draw, we can heal up a bit, and we can find a way to get this Galmu to go face. And that is by super evolving Neptune, or realistically one of the Megalorcas, to go face. I mean, to hit into this Gilmalees, and then we can hit for a nice 7 damage with this Galmu. Hopefully, it'll stick. It's not likely to. They've got the heal crest on, and there's always Benison, but this is some nice pressure. Our board is still wide. 8/8 body is really good as well. It'll be hard to clear, again, because of Congruent could still clear it, and the Goblet, which we're still trying to force out. Here I decided to place the White Frost Whisper to make their hand a bit more uncomfortable as well, just to add to their problems. And here, though, we're going to get hit with Congruent, though, clearing her, which is unfortunate. Plus, Benison, great. Full board gets cleared, but at least we took no damage to face, which is nice. Right now here, we don't have a lot we can do. Unfortunately, the Genesis and the Azurifrit in our hand both aren't affected by Fenny, so we can't do any shenanigans here. But what we can do is go wide, get another Fangs of Ardent Destruction, heal up a bit more, and we've got a bunch of those for Azurifrit in my hand, which is nice. The real nice thing, though, would be like drawing a discounted Azurifrit or something like that. Here, Cocytus comes down, so at least we know they're not clearing our board, and we know that the crest they have is really limited to what's in their hand now. Should have crashed the 2/1 Megalorca, but I needed to crash at least one of the Megalorcas in order for this Cocytus to get cleared. And I'm basically deciding between Genesis Dragon or Garyu. Genesis Dragon is the correct option, and the option I do end up going with, because there isn't really a time for me to play a 10-drop Genesis Dragon, especially with the rest of my deck being discounted, while this Garyu is discounted and can easily be paired with something strong later, even without super evolve points. So with this clearing the board, we are able to go face for 4, which is nice. And hey, we have another Fangs of Ardent Destruction for this Azurifrit, who's gonna go absolutely hard whenever we drop him. They have drawn one from the Apocalypse deck, which it has a variety of things that it could do, and this is one of them, which clears our board. Unfortunate for us. They finally get the crest from Grimnir, which is really unfortunate. So here we are forced to Azurifrit. That second Fenny draw is not doing us any favors, and Garyu's not really a great play here. So Azurifrit's going to come down, especially without Super Evolution, which we really would rather use on Azurifrit here, who is going to not only clear the board, but do so much damage to face with all these Fangs of Ardent Destruction in hand. And here they come. Just absolutely ping the leader down. Heck yeah. 4 HP is all you've got. So now we kind of just need to hope they can't clear Azurifrit, though that's kind of asking a lot. This deck does have pretty good single target removal. One of them being Congruent, which they've seen 2 of so far. So you'd think hopefully they deleted the third one in their deck when they played the Apocalypse deck, but yeah, you'll see soon enough that's not the case, as they really hardcore think thonk again. And there she comes. There to ruin my fun. Alongside a ward and a devotee. Now, luckily for me, the devotee crest hits the card that already has ward, and that top deck seals the deal. Garyu with the Silver Dragon Rush, plus our boy Genesis Dragon is going to come down and wrap up this game. Goodbye. Thank goodness for top decks. Now we get into the final game of this video, and it's against Abysscraft again. So, the mini-game resumes. Which build of Abyss is it? There's 3 of them, and we're in Topaz. Anything is possible. Opening hand looks pretty solid, minus the Azrifreet that we don't really want to hold on to. So we're going to put him back and draw Dragon Sign, which is just lovely. This is quite a good hand. And again, not Mode Abyss. So we're dealing with either mid or aggro Abyss. And as we see the Lilith come down, we know, alright, aggro it is. So survive is now our exclusive objective here, as we need to just live, because this deck does not have a late game. And so, all we have to do is survive. Drawing Azrifreet's not the greatest there. We're going to take this turn, though, to ramp, because their board isn't super scary. We can at least clear one of the followers, and we're only really taking 1 damage this turn. And hopefully we can draw something nice off this turn, which we do. It is our boy Merman, saving us from eating 7 damage from that. I think it's the... Which title of Entwining is that? God, I don't remember card names outside of Dragoncraft cards. But thanks to the Merman draw, we're not taking 7 damage. However, that guy is going to clear Merman, so we're still going to take 3 from the Evolved Cultivator, because Aggro Abyss, they're just trying to go face. So Galmu is going to have to clean this up as we put her down, evolve her, and use her effect to clear the 3/3 now that she is taking damage. Really, the only scary thing right now in this game is that we haven't drawn Neptune, and Neptune kind of wins us the game against Aggro Abyss, because if we stabilize, we win against Aggro Abyss, because they don't really have late game at all. We're not exactly really behind at the moment, but we're not ahead either. So Gamu just gets cleared here, unfortunately. Though luckily for us, we only take the 1 damage this turn, and we draw a second Odin, which is nice. Now we can start putting the pressure on them, and we know that their deck doesn't really heal, so we're not going to have to worry about, you know, them healing off this damage, because this is Aggro Abyss. Because we're just going to basically Odin them to death here at this point. And Aragavi comes down to clear the Odin. I mean, what can they do at this point, right? Their pressure is kind of gone at this point. And we're going to just Odin them again. And then we're also going to Super Evolve this Odin and utilize the Flames spell in our hand. I almost don't use it, but then I was like, actually the drop could be nice. And also it gives us another of the press spell to make sure this Azurifreet kills them, because maybe they heal somehow. Azurifreet was already lethal before, but then Barrel comes down, and if they evolve Barrel, then they heal 5, and then yeah, I do need that spell, so that saves me. But for some reason they don't super evolve her. It's not gonna matter because Azurifreet is still lethal here, but you know, just a small, you know, misplay there that overall doesn't matter, but I'm gonna BM them for it. Probably should have super evolved there. Barrel would have been bigger, she would live, and she would still heal, but I digress. This game is over, and with this game being over, right now in the video I'm just calculating lethal, this video is basically over, and so with that, while I am finishing off this Abysscraft player, I just want to thank you for watching. I'm planning on making both Shadowverse Worlds Beyond and Shadowverse Evolved content on this channel. Gameplay stuff is going to happen as much as I can in between the bigger uploads. Most of the bigger uploads are probably going to be Shadowverse Evolved, and I hope you'll stick around for it. Subscribe to the Shinobuyuki TCG channel, and with that, I'll be seeing you in the next video, whether it's a gameplay video or maybe something a bit bigger. You'll just have to stick around and find out.